Northern Sky fans. Well, I have the distinct pleasure of having special guests for this particular interview on Raise the Curtain Day. I'm talking with Maury and Ann Sullivan, who are longtime Northern Sky fans and are sponsors of Raise the Curtain for this particular event. So we're just going to have a little interview, a chance to talk with them about what it is that they like about Northern Sky, why they continue to come to see our shows, and also why they decided to be sponsors. So first, what I like to do is find out where people are, because obviously we can't be together this year at the Gould to do Raise the Curtain. So instead, we're going to have this virtual event. And where will you be watching Raise the Curtain from, Maury and Ann?
We'll be watching it from our home in Ashwaubenon.
And that's where you currently are, where you're talking to me from?
Yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the things I look forward to every year with Raise the Curtain, and a sincere and great pleasure for me at that event, is when I get to walk out and I get to see familiar, friendly faces for the first time, usually since last fall or summer. And your faces are ones that I always look forward to seeing every single spring, and catching up with you and having a chance to just say hello and welcome back and hope you have a good evening. Can you talk a little bit about your experience with Northern Sky and Raise the Curtain?
Oh, we love that event, and we're going to miss it terribly. We always appreciate that it's so nicely organized and so well presented, and as you, with all the familiar faces.
We thought actually that we might miss it because of this year being a little different. And then when you indicated you would have a internet sort of Raise the Curtain, we were excited by that. And so, and I would add that this year's been a little more difficult, combination of weather, virus thing. So it's nice to have a breath of spring and to return via internet to Raise the Curtain. So,
oh, that's wonderful. So I'm interested to know, and I know that anybody who is listening to this interview, people are always curious to know what your first experience with Northern Sky or any of its predecessors might have been, and what drew you to it, if you can remember.
Well, I would go back to the early 70s. I can't say what year, 72 or 73, something like that. And we had a son who was 3 years old at that time. So we packed up and went up to Peninsula Park, pitched a tent. We wandered around the park and ended up sitting on some boards and stumps. And that was our introduction to it. And we thoroughly enjoyed it for all kinds of reasons. But it led us to thinking this was a special place.
Wasn't it called the Heritage Ensemble at that time?
Yep, the Heritage Ensemble, that's right.
And it was a very joyful experience because it was stories and song and very creative. And what I liked about it, especially, I've always enjoyed live theater. There's nothing like it in all different realms. But this one was unique because they were talking about local history, local culture. And it was a great combination of the human spirit and the creative spirit, and then the nature, the beauty of nature. A wonderful combination. It meant a great deal to us, and we kept coming back and back and back.
I was drawn to, don't be offended by this, but I was drawn to the corny humor. And
not offended at all.
Yeah, it's kind of a basic perspective of life, and very enjoyable.
Yeah. So you guys have, I mean, amazingly, you've been around for almost the 50 years
Right.
that performances have been happening in that park. That's part of, that's part of the celebration of this particular year is 50 years of performances in the park and 30 years of Northern Sky. One of the things I also love and appreciate about you guys is I come to the park often, and when I see Anne, you are with grandchildren. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
We love sharing it with our kids through the years. Our son's 50 this year, so that shows that he's experienced it a great deal too. And our second son, who lives here in Wisconsin, and then now grandchildren. And theater is important to them as well, which is joy for all of us. And yeah, and friends. I mean, we were very happy to bring our 50th anniversary party to Northern Sky, and it wasn't Northern Sky at the time, but to share that experience with friends from who had been in our wedding many, many years ago in Iowa. So we wanted them to see what we so enjoy about Door County.
Oh, I
But
love that.
we love all the energy that you people portray, and it's all very positive and joyful. And so we just can't get enough, and we love the fact that they're all written or originally, and you really.
So tell me a little, that's an interesting thing for me. Not many theater companies sustain their mission by doing original works because it demands a lot of creativity, and it demands just a certain kind of commitment that's tough for a lot of theater companies to make. What is it that draws you to want to see what it is that we create that's brand new?
Well, it's the ending, the experience, but the ending, we always leave feeling good. And that's in part because of the lighthearted, engaging nature of the programs. And that's what brings us back. Of course, whether it's in the park or whether it's in the new theater, either one, we get the same sensation.
And I think too, there's a relief from any concerns that you have in your life, any heavy thoughts. You don't have them when you're enjoying theater at Northern Sky. You just immerse into the stories, and I think everybody needs stories in their lives, and it's a very joyful experience, simply done. Well, from our point of view.
Well, we count on people wanting to see brand new works, and we can't thank you enough for being loyal fans of that. You mentioned, Maury, that not only at the park, of course, we're celebrating 50 years out there, but we were getting set for this 2020 season to do our most ambitious season ever with both programming in the park and in our new theater space, the Gould at the Creative Center. And you guys were tremendously generous in helping us with that capital campaign. So thank you very much for that. And also in sponsoring this particular event. Can you talk a little bit about your philanthropy in terms of why you think it's important to give to Northern Sky?
Well, I would say, first of all, it's not about us, but I think it's more about Northern Sky. And we perceive that with the difficulties of this year, maybe this spring and the summer, we wanted to keep the fire lit at Northern Sky. And so our sense of the best way to do that was to contribute to, in this case, Raise the Curtain, but we've contributed in the past in several ways, such as the new theater and donations. And so we think this is perpetuating what we see as a good idea and a good experience. And that we want to share it, particularly at this time of year, because of some of the struggles that are going on right now.
Well, we can't thank you enough. Go ahead, Anne. It looked like you were going to.
I was just going to say that in addition to all that you do programming, we love to enjoy the personalities that keep coming back year and year, and create different roles and become that personality. And that's really a kick to watch, that some theaters, when they had all these actors going in and out the doors, you don't get that same thing. So this is like an extension of family in a way. It's really different and fun. And by the way, the whole new experience with this building is just a joy. And we really enjoyed all the woods for the years in the past. But, well, to show an example, I saw Dad's Seasons tickets 3 times in 1 month. Brought as many people as I could. It's so impressive, and it was so delightful. And I really look forward to more.
Yeah, yeah. Aren't we all?
Yeah.
So one final thing that a lot of people might not know, we can look out our respective windows in Door County and wave at one another across the bay. Isn't that correct?
Absolutely, that's right.
We have a garden that's on the lake over there in Bailey's Harbor, and Anne makes Frogtown Road one of her usual biking routes. And it's always a pleasure when you stop by, if we're outside, to just have a chat, and then we can always wave at Maury across the bay.
Well, the fence is still up, by the way, so you know it's in good condition.
Well,
oh, good.
You have to be there and grow those vegetables, because I'm used to coming over about 2 o'clock in the morning and helping myself.
Oh, and here I thought it was some other critter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. You guys are such wonderful supporters of ours and great friends to the theater. And it's always just terrific to see you, to talk with you, to catch up with you. I can't thank you enough for doing this interview. And thank you again so much for your sponsorship of Raise the Curtain. I hope you enjoy tonight's premiere event at 7 o'clock. Tune in, and afterward, the auction will be going until 8:15, and then we'll have a little post discussion for anybody who wants to stick around to give some feedback about what they just saw. And I think you're going to really enjoy it.
We will look forward to that. We thank you all so much.
Keep the flame burning.
We certainly will. Thank you guys very, very much.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.